was 2 days ago, I learned that a patron that I am working with, I'm assisting him in medical needs, medical support, and homeopathics because he takes medications. He's on all the medications. He's a senior, approaching senior. He's 62. He's actually born the day that my father transitioned, and I just learned that as well. I didn't know that, and I've known this gentleman for probably going on a year now. And I knew that his health conditions were compromised, but I didn't know the depth of his needs. And as I've been in communications with him and he's assisted me with things that I've needed, which is mostly hauling, transportation, I learned that he's on a lot of medications. And I already knew that because of some situation medically that he doesn't speak well. I didn't know what that situation was medically. I knew that there was a lot of barriers and there was a lot of need, but I didn't dig into his business to find those things out. But since he was forthcoming with me about his personal matters, I learned that he takes high blood pressure pills, diabetic pills, um, asthma. I mean, he has a lot going on, and he's a previous stroke survivor. So his speech is very much impaired, and his function, his mobility is limited to a degree. Now he can walk and he's mobile, but he most times needs a cane, and he's not stable at all. So I've been helping him as much as I can with the knowledge that I have and the information that I have as far as naturopathic methods. I don't have any diseases. Give thanks, give thanks. I don't have any disorders other than what people say is like bipolar. But we all are bipolar. That's nothing that is a medical diagnosis. That is what we all are. That we are multidimensional beings and we come from multiple beings. Bipolar. So, and we're not even going to get into that because that's a whole nother technical matter and terminology that medical mafia, excuse my term of French, but I speak it fluently. That's why I'm always targeted on other social media platforms. But we have multiple polarities meshed together, all of us. And it's a balance. It's a balancing act. Everything is a balancing act. Everything is an act. The world is a stage. So this gentleman, I'm helping with his mobility and to assist his kidney function, which is at 20%, the last test he had. Waiting for results to come back to see what improvements, if any, so that I will know how to move forward if, other measures need to be addressed. But he is happy with what's being provided for him, mostly. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm going to take another sip. That's a reminder. Must need one. Because I've been ready for bed, like I said, about 4 or 5 hours ago. But he's happy with what I'm offering him, which is just naturopathic medicines made from my kitchen sink and the grocery store. Something that he's not capable of doing at home on his own. Something that he would not do at home on his own. I literally have been out of it since our last introduction because of those 48 hours. And then the preceding day, because I'm not certain exactly what day I came to you and invited you into the caution tape introductory video. But on the 16th was the day of the murder of my mother, and which is why the 26th is the day of her actual burial. She was out of state, so she had to have her body identified first, which is something I had to fly out to do. I didn't fly out. I'm talking like I did fly out, but I took the Greyhound at that time. I hadn't flown in a long time at that time, and it was probably financial more. Yeah, it was definitely financial. Not even probably because I was 20 years old. Like I was 20 years old. I was in another state. I was on my own, thinking I'm grown. Just like waiting for my mother to make the phone call. I was supposed to been where she was, and I give thanks that I was not where she was. So this thanks taking situation is very serious for me. It's very serious for me, and I hope to encourage many of you to take a look at what thanks taking is, because I'm thankful that so much was taken from me so that I don't have to come back to another cycle of learning and remembering, because I need to gather this knowledge and this information and recollect myself so that I, her, me, she, we don't have to repeat this cycle. I'm so done with this. I'm so done with this experience that I agreed to, and I'm thankful to learn that, I'm in control. I am in control. And even though I lived so much of my life as a victim, even before the murder of my mother, I lived so much of my life as a victim because I didn't understand. I didn't know. I had no preceding knowledge other than what was instilled in me from my mother, which had been done prior to her murder many years, because I came to the area that I live in with my family when I was 12 or 13. I want to say 12, probably 13, maybe. I don't know if I was quite a teen yet, but neither here nor there. I've been here too long. I've been here a long time in this area, and I thought like other things for my life, Never imagined any of this. Never imagined myself to be who I am either. Right now, I didn't even know. I didn't even know anything about who I am or what potential I had to become who I am. So I'm thankful, although it's taken a turn and a toll on my life and my dreams and aspirations that I never could have imagined, never could have ever imagined that I would be sitting in this position, in these shoes. A mother of 6 born children and 1 unborn child, and 10 grandchildren between the living children, because my deceased child didn't get to have any children. He never had a child. He literally only had graduated and didn't even begin to live his life yet. Was just getting ready to go to college, which is what his plans was. Um, he spent 7 years in captivity. My dad spent 30 plus years in captivity. So it's either, the cradle to the grave scenario for us is too prevalent. It's too frequent, and we're too comfortable accepting and allowing it. So my friend, my patron, his grandson was just found 2 days ago on Tuesday, 21 years old, found murdered and had been dead for 2 days. So they found him on Tuesday and he was murdered on Sunday. Sunday was the 15th of November, the day before the murder of my mother, the anniversary of the murder of my mother. And so this is a theme that I'm not happy with among my people. Among people, period, but I'm talking to us. I'm talking to us because we are responsible. We are the responsible ones for our babies and for their futures. And I wasn't able to protect my son, but he also had his own journey and destiny. Many things I've learned since his transition that I probably would have never known because I would have never dug. I would have never searched. I would have never embraced to embark on the journey of the knowledge of his soul. I wouldn't have even had an idea to probably consider it. Just rearing, and that probably would have never happened. So I did make a list of these things that have been taken from me, and starting with, like I said, close friends. My first person that I ever called a brother went to jail. Of course, the relationship was strained. We were friends so long, and then we communicated a lot of the years that he was away, and of course, he would come home and have to catch up, the same as my son and most of our men. Um, my very good friend, vehicular homicide. We just recently had gotten out of high school. I personally hadn't graduated because I got pregnant. I was first expelled from the high school that I attended, and eventually I got my GED, but was long after I got my GED. Long after those years, I got my GED. Um, and many children after that, of course, after my first child. So, whatever the year, 1999, was that the year of 9/11? Was that the year of 9/11? Which was like 10 years after I was graduated, my timeline to graduate. I had children. I started living, and my mother was murdered, and I thought I was grown, and I didn't have support or proper foundation for anything I was doing. Nothing. So, neither here nor there, we're talking about things taken. And a lot of those things that were taken from me were for my own good at this juncture in my life. Then you couldn't have told me that. I didn't I didn't want to lose my mother, my father, my son, my friends, my first boyfriend who loved me. I knew love at a very early age. That kind of love is very rare to know at a very early age. But he went away for murder right out of high school, pretty much. And he was just there. He didn't commit the crime. He was just there. So, thanks taking is very prevalent for many of us because I'm sure much has been taken from many of us because this is a part of the systematic oppression for us. Thanks taking. And so now to turn it around on the system so that we're not victimized by our circumstances and our situations that we've experienced and the traumas and the trials, the tribulations. We could be thankful for the things that were taken from us if we executed the work. And the work is to understand what this is about, how this came about, what this really means on the surface and in depth. What is this about? And how do we proceed in spite of? It's been a long, windy road for me. Long, windy road for me to figure all of this out on my own. And like I said, on a day like today, when many people are spending their time in the presence of loved ones and enjoying and festive, you know, functions and food and family. I just had my first meal after 8 p.m. and I was awake way before, like, I had my first meal more than 12 hours after I've been out of my bed, feet on the floor. And that's because my time management sucks. It's like my cousin, I didn't get to complete that thought. My favorite cousin says that everything is a production with you. Everything is a production with you. Like, I never thought of it like that, but you're absolutely right. And I didn't know that. And I don't know why that is. Like, I don't know. I just have to have things a certain way. I just have to have things a certain way. It's the elegance of me. And I'm happy to be me. And I embrace who I am. It's people who don't embrace who I am. But I'm not people. I'm not people. I just look like this. But I want to list all these things, but I don't want to be the only one. I need somebody to share theirs as well. Like, I'm already sharing so much of myself and coming out of my comfort zone of just being a me thing. A me thing because I'm all I got. I don't have family. I don't have friends. I have acquaintance, associates, people I people I mess with. Even the people I love the most are not my family. Like I said, my favorite cousin is not blood to me. But I've known her before I ever had my first child. It's more than 30 years. A lot more than 30 years. Not saying what my age is. Not yet. And I still didn't say what my name is yet. But that's okay. I don't have anybody engaging with me that is important. And what is a name? I'm not the name. It's just what I go by, what I'm known as. So get to know people. Get to know people for who they are inside. My goal is to have the highest level of communication and relations and relationships sailing and navigating as I possibly can. And I can start the trend, but will anybody follow suit? No, I don't know. Everybody have their own ideas about what is and what's supposed to be and how things really are. And everybody's situations are different. But yeah, I'm not going to stay here long because I already got cut off on the first segment. I don't even know how I'm going to mesh these videos together because I don't know how to do this YouTube thing. But I'm wearing my mother's rainbow. I'm wearing my mother's rainbow because this belongs to me. I'm the princess of the goddess of the planet. Okay? I don't know what they've been told. I don't know what people think. But I'm here to let it be known what it is and what it's going to be. That's what I'm here for. And so, if you would join me, if you would accept my invitation to come on board and share something, anything that may have been taken from you, dear to you, near to you, far from you, something that you cherished and valued, people, things, situations taken from you, opportunities, lives that have enhanced your life, that has brought you to a higher place in your being, has showed you a better light for who you are and who you came to be, please do share it with me. Please do. I beg of you. I will be more open and candid, and you will get to know me personally on a level that, if you would like, we can exchange. Like, I would like to put the thumbnails and details and all of that, but this is all new to me, and I don't know what kind of response I'm going to get already. So what's the point of just putting it all out there without even knowing what's going on yet? So the first videos barely got 30 views, and it's going on 2 weeks, but that's okay. It's okay, because it's not about the views, and it's not about the likes or any shares or even comments. It's about the content. And with or without anybody's approval, I'm on a mission my ancestors sent me. And I'll be back. And until I do, I hope you be well. Ashe.